Hello, you're kicking off the Sunday's edition of Qpvn English News Bulletin with Milinchi and the content headlines. Vietnam and DPRK sign bilateral cooperation documents. TRILATERAL rescue exercise rehearsal among Laos, Vietnam and Cambodia held. Language cultures meet in Hanoi. On the morning of October the 11th, Party General Secretary To Lam and the high-ranking Vietnamese delegation returned to Hanoi, successfully concluding their state visit to the Democratic People's Republic of Korea and attendance at the 80th founding anniversary of the Workers' Party of Korea, held from October the 9th to the 11th at the invitation of General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea and President of the State Affairs of the DPRK, Kim Jong-un. The signed documents include an agreement on cooperation between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, a letter of intent between the Ministry of National Defense of Vietnam and the Ministry of National Defense of the DPRK on defense cooperation, a cooperation agreement between the Vietnam News Agency and the Korean Central News Agency, a memorandum of understanding on health and medical science cooperation between the Ministry of Health of Vietnam and the Ministry of Public Health of the DPRK, and a memorandum of understanding between the Vietnam Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the DPRK Chamber of Commerce. On October the 11th, Party General Secretary To Lam attended the groundbreaking ceremony in the central province of Nghệ An's Nang Ngoi Kamin for the construction of a primary and secondary boarding school. General Phan Van Gia, Minister of National Defense, General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff, Deputy Defense Minister, also joined the event. General Secretary To Lam emphasized that the Vietnamese party and state always identify education as the top national policy and the key driving force for the country's sustainable development. In order for the project to be completed soon, contributing to the successful implementation of the party's policy, General Secretary To Lam suggested local authorities resolutely take part in considering this a particularly important political task. He also called on ministries, local administrations, village elders, community leaders, and advocates to work closely together in mobilizing public support for education, considering schools as fortresses of knowledge, culture, and patriotism in border areas. With the determination of the entire political system, the consensus of the people, especially the affection and responsibility of teachers in the border areas of the fatherland, General Secretary To Lam believes that a system of boarding schools will be successfully built in 248 border communes so that every child in the highlands and remote areas will have the opportunity to study, develop, and reach a bright future. General Secretary To Lam and the working delegation also presented meaningful gifts to poor households and policy families, expressing the deep affection and sharing of the party and state towards people in border areas. Also on October the 11th, Party General Secretary To Lam and the Central Working Delegation offered flowers and incense in tribute to President Ho Chi Minh at Chung Sơn Temple, dedicated to the revered leaders and settlers, and at the Kim Liên Special National Relic Site in Nghệ An Province. General Phan Van Gia, Minister of National Defense, General Trịnh Văn Quyết, Chairman of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, and General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army, Deputy Defense Minister, also joined the delegation. General Secretary To Lam and the Central Working Delegation offered flowers and incense in tribute to President Ho Chi Minh and his loved ones at Chung Sơn Temple, dedicated to the revered leaders and settlers. At the Kim Liên Special National Relic Site, they expressed their respect and gratitude for the great contribution of President Ho Chi Minh, the genius leader of the Communist Party of Vietnam and the Vietnamese people, and an eminent figure of the international communist and workers' movements. Later the same day, General Secretary To Lam and the working delegation visited and worked with the military region for command. To mark the 80th anniversary of Vietnam's first general election, January the 6th, 1946-2026, on the morning of October the 11th, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn, leading a mission, paid tribute to late President Tôn Đức Thắng at the Special National Relic Site in Mỹ Hòa, Hương Cam Minh, An Giang Province. National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn and the mission showed deep gratitude to President Tôn Đức Thắng, a model leader, a steadfast communist, and a shining example of revolutionary morality, as well as a proud citizen of An Giang. Speaking at the event, the National Assembly Chairman expressed his hope that An Giang Province could continue to grow rapidly and sustainably, keeping pace with the country's overall development. He also urged the local authorities to make the relic site a great address for educating patriotism and revolutionary traditions among the younger generations. In Vientiane, Laos, Lieutenant General Sajai Khamasit, Deputy Minister of National Defense and Chief of the General Staff of the Lao People's Army, chaired the first joint rehearsal for a trilateral rescue and relief exercise involving the armed forces of Laos, Vietnam, and Cambodia. The official exercise will take place on October the 15th at the Nam Hom River in Nha Sai Phong District, Vientiane. Representatives from the Vietnam People's Army and the Royal Cambodian Armed Forces attended the session. During the rehearsal, participating forces practiced formations on land, conducted flyovers and river parades, and performed rescue missions for flood victims and those trapped under collapsed structures. Concluding the rehearsal, the Lao Military of National Defense commended all three military forces for overcoming challenges in language and weather conditions, while demonstrating strong coordination and effective execution of the planned scenarios. Coming up next, conference connects Liên Quan with Korean businesses held. When world cultures meet in Hanoi. On October the 11th, the kick-off event for the Not Alone Together for Online Safety campaign took place. This campaign leads up to the opening ceremony for the signing of the UN Convention Against Cybercrime, or Hanoi Convention, that will be held on October the 25th to the 26th in Hanoi. On the sidelines of the event, Qpvn reporter had an interview with Ambassador Phạm Quang Vinh, former Direct Minister of Foreign Affairs, about the significance of the Hanoi Convention and Vietnam's efforts to translate international commitment into concrete actions to protect the community. What are the implications for Vietnam's international standing to host the opening ceremony of the Hanoi Convention, the world's first international convention against cybercrime? First, in the context that technology is rapidly advancing while cybersecurity threats have been growing, the question is how to ensure internet safety while continuing to benefit from technological development. This convention makes that possible. Second, multilateral cooperation is not easy to maintain in an era of global competition and differences. Yet, this convention demonstrates renewed trust in multilateralism. Third, Vietnam's participation from the very beginning in all 5 rounds of negotiations shows the trust from other countries, the country's growing stature, and its proactive role in shaping international cooperation. The convention represents the highest level of legal commitment. However, to bring it into life requires concrete actions. How do the concerted efforts to realize the convention, like the Not Alone campaign, reflect Vietnam's responsibility for the international community? Firstly, it demonstrates Vietnam's strong commitment to combating cybercrime. Secondly, it affirms the country's engagement in multilateral cooperation, as well as its determination to promote collective efforts to effectively implement the convention at national, regional, and global levels. Thirdly, the campaign focuses on protecting the most vulnerable, especially children, which gives the event profound meaning. The convention is not only about international commitment, but also about its country's concrete actions to ensure these legal documents' effectiveness. How might the implementation of the Hanoi Convention enhance cooperation between Vietnam and other countries? At the upcoming signing ceremony, alongside Vietnam senior leaders and the UN Secretary General, many high-level representatives from other countries will also attend. In addition to the signing ceremony, the event will feature high-level discussions aimed at strengthening both multilateral and bilateral cooperation to ensure that the convention becomes part of real life. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. On October the 11th, the Vietnamese embassy in the Republic of Korea, in coordination with Tuyên Quang Province, organized a conference at the embassy's headquarters in Seoul to connect the province working delegation with Korean enterprises. In his opening remarks, Vietnamese ambassador to the Republic of Korea Vu Ho emphasized that the event presents a concrete and effective step toward implementing the outcomes of General Secretary To Lem's official visit to the Republic of Korea. The conference provided an important platform for both sides to enhance mutual understanding and promote cooperation in investment, trade, tourism, and labor, contributing to the deepening of the Vietnam-Republic of Korea Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. During the event, the provincial representatives introduced Tuyên Quang's strategic location, economic development, strengths, and preferential investment policies, expressing their readiness to welcome and accompany Korean investors. To mark the 95th anniversary of the Vietnam Women's Union on October 20th, recently, a group of 10 female artists from Da Nang opened an art exhibition titled Colors of Womanhood at Da Nang Museum of Fine Arts. The event is aimed at honoring the beauty and strength of the Vietnamese women. Each painting in the exhibition serves as a delicate mosaic reflecting the soul, emotions, and unique perspectives of women in modern life, depicting their extrovert, yet profound, strong, yet creative characteristics. More than an artistic showcase, the exhibition represents a journey of maintaining balance between family, career, and creative passion. It is also an occasion to pay tribute to generations of Vietnamese women while conveying a message of women empowerment, portraying modern Vietnamese women as courageous, creative, and deserving of respect and affection. Held for the first time at Hanoi's Thăng Long Imperial Cathedral, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the World Cultural Festival Hanoi 2025 is captivating both locals and visitors with its vibrant cultural experiences. The Cultural Avenue, a space showcasing the distinctive history, art, language, attire, and customs of nations, is drawing thousands of visitors to explore. Booths from nearly 50 countries bring to life a vibrant display of history, art, traditions, and traditional costumes. Each booth serves as the window of culture, inviting visitors to step into another civilization right in Hanoi. It's exciting to explore so many cultures from Asia to Europe and the Middle East. I was most impressed by Canada's booth. They even had a mascot and hockey games. This year's World Cultural Festival in Hanoi is not only a chance to explore and experience, but also a bridge connecting diverse cultures. Alongside Vietnam's traditional performances, international art troops light up the world stage with a vibrant, colorful, and emotional showcase of global culture. We are here to perform traditional Russian dances and songs. Our performances celebrate the beauty of our homeland, its lands, rivers, and lakes. Beyond its artistic charm, the festival is also a food paradise with over 100 delicacies from around the world. Visitors can not only enjoy diverse cuisines, but also savor the authentic traditional flavors that reflect the unique identities of its culture. During the 2 weekend days, the Thăng Long Imperial Cathedral is set to become a true home for the world, where music, colors, flavors, and emotions blend in an atmosphere of friendship and unity. It is the end of the English News Bulletin today. You will watch our news again at qpvn.vn. For now, goodbye and see you next time.